Iram Buratna Mandala Thamniyatayam
Sanje Chetan Soje Chana La Janju Badu Tanye Dagwe Chijin Jive Sonan Je Dolabe Juva Jo Sanje Chetan Soje Chana La Janju Badu Tanye Dagwe Chijin Jive Sonan Je Dolabe Jesan Jo Sanje Chetan Soje Chana La Janju Badu Tanye Dagwe Chijin Jive Sonan Je Dolabe Sanje Druva Jo La Dan La Meme Da Maya Je On Badon Je Je La So Che Je La Shawa Che Kon Sanje Sumbara Du Shi Jin Teve Te Da Shi Je Teme Chen Din De She Je Teve Je Chen De Je Sa Ve Di Yo Ba Ti Che Ba La Cho De Te Jin Ku Wai Dive La Be Nya Ja Shin De Sa Ye Me Da On Be Da Ne La Ga Tu La Tu Be So Nye Je Na Mo La Yin Ka Dan Lu Dan Ni Shin Ka Tu Bu Da Ta Me Ka Na Zhuwa Gu Je Da Na Che Za Wa Tam Je Ka Tu Da Gu Che De Do 라서 다르다게 단조내지 도배가도 코인 내라 마샤와 아니 막에 선전 탐제 동안 규단 제와라 초위치도 토자라는 모양다고 저기 산제지 공부 좀 보지 지내제 도바차 네 치도 아니 배 찾아 집에 새로운 도지 템 생년밖에 아니 그런 근저기 좀 봐나 내가 싸다 대상바쇼
So yes, now set your motivation correctly. Think that at this moment I have attained this opportunity, this life, and with it I'm going to utilize it to achieve unexcelled true perfect awakening for the sake of all sentient beings as quickly as possible. And with this kind of opportunity, then I'm going to listen and try to understand as best I can the instruction here on the profound path of Mahamudra.
Oh yeah, that's 가서래 차정의시 치바치바라 조왕의시 죽수무 예배나네 아니 조회 내가 소라 나 라면나죠 고야기 아니 라면나죠 때 점도선 좀 오도 단에 소신사 다바당 아니 이시바 제안창 타면 있으면 됨 되네 되라 아니 연락 뒤지 거네 아니 소사바기 나네 당한도 돼 되는 가상 세바 참네 샤바치네 샤바기지
So then within the three topics that are contained within the instruction on Mahamudra, there's the preparatory practices, the actual meditation session as such, and then what one does subsequent to that. And within the preparatory practices, we've discussed so far the portion of the Guru Yoga where one does the visualization and then causes the gnosis beings to enter into and be stabilized within the visualization. And then based upon having first generated refuge and bodhicitta, doing the visualization, causing the gnosis beings to enter in. And then one performs the parts of the 7-part worship, such as making offerings and then doing confession and then making requests. And we've arrived now up to this portion of the 7-part worship practice.
Oh yeah, that is 아니 샤바티기 아니 가제파 리트 정화체 아니 사마디기 아니 가서리 튕전 초사바체 디나네 제주이란 되게 아니 제와 사바다 배워 니가체체 되는 송거리.
So the confession practice is primarily concerned with the purification of negative actions that one has performed, and then the other practices of giving offerings and paying homage and the rejoicing. And the other parts of the 7-part worship are primarily concerned with the generation of massive merit, virtuous merit. And then rejoicing in the merits of others, all other beings, works so as for both to purify one of negative actions and likewise to cause the increase of the virtues that you've accumulated.
Oh yeah, that hela, ane kasore. Yang jango lama zongo chibi, beba chung, labjin chodi la, gela jesu yiran chodi song. chebarangi onje gewala lomsum chaiwa gawa chejebe ani semje gawa teda jena le so na shi cheni da jesu yirande o 가서래 배바 chung 배서 침보 먹어 봐 아니 소라고 지도 두바 쳐봐 드네 쳐봐도야 아니 랑은 쳐게 개와 테라라 마사다 자위 거네 아니 예수이랑 제나 아니 개와 배와다 쏴바니까 좋아 좋아
In the last section, I should have said that the practice of rejoicing is functions so as to cause one to accumulate merit and also for that merit to be expanded. I mistranslated that, saying that it applied to the purification as well. So here then, J. Rinpoche has said that this practice of rejoicing is an attitude of joy that one has towards all of the virtues, merit that has been produced by all other beings as well as one's own. And this practice is most excellent for accumulating merit and for causing the merit that you've already accumulated to increase. The reason for that is that it's relatively easy to do. It doesn't take as much effort, and for that reason, then it's praised as being the best way to increase one's merit, to generate and increase one's merit.
Oh yeah, that then the day 가서 안에 샤바 가서 예수이랑 그 틀대라. 안에 가서 전화라시 참아 탄자야. 밀음 지신 개바 탐제지 내가 지양 차위 남가라 다자 삼바탑에 이랑 오세 들어와 어디 대인장 천하라신 참마 탄자양 세게 안 개와다 미게외 뒤비 아니 최 탐제 아라신지 추위 참마 라신지 주와다 자나양 와 아니 밀음 지신 개바 탐제지 세게 밀음 지신 세대다 들이 자초고 이지르세도 와 밀람진 내가서 아니 가서래 유난나서 봐 대화당 대화녀와다 동아 채발라서 와 아니 유난나서 봐지 연구 연아양 아니 밀람게 나왔다도 매도 무슨 매봐 무슨 매봐 대무슨 매나양 이세비 뒤수 아니 양 가서래 밀람기 강 나와 테라 아니 미게위레 테다라 제수이랑 치에당 게웨레 테다라 제수이랑 테디 차와지나 아니 가소레 되게 제수이 텐저위 아니 제수 게미게라 제수이랑 체웨 게와 되게 게미게기 아니 대우 동화당 대우대 아니 대우 종아 밀람 출신 我提起心都去他们家让些去出去参加当查那样，他年都俺那给我的没给我钱完了，俺那这我带我穷啊，了我算去那让些，刚才参加当这样，没那么起心也把他们家几意思，俺那说给我当，俺那爸爸给我他们家了，俺那刚才这个钱这个。 So
then this practice of rejoicing is expressed in verse 39 of the Guru Puja, where it says that all phenomena, although they are free from signs of intrinsic existence, just like dreams, that nevertheless I rejoice in whatever kind of virtue and happiness arises in the space it says here, we, meaning all of the people performing the puja or oneself, sincerely rejoice in whatever kind of virtue, happiness and virtue arises in space. And the virtue there is referring to the virtue of the entirety of ordinary sentient beings as well as all Aryas, all beings that have achieved the understanding of reality. So, and it's just like a dream. Here, what this is saying is that all phenomena are completely separate from even the signs of intrinsic existence. That is, although they appear as if they exist by means of their intrinsic nature, intrinsic existence, they don't actually, in reality, have any bit of intrinsic nature, intrinsic existence whatsoever. And the example that's given for that is just like in a dream. In a dream, things appear to us. We can have things go on that appear frightful, terrifying, or things occur that seem as if they are pleasant, pleasurable, and so forth. But those things aren't, those things that appear in the dream are not real. They appear to us as if they were real, actual things that we're involved with. But in reality, of course, those are not real things. They're simply dream activities and images and such. So just like that. However, even though that's the case, that those dream images and activities are unreal, nevertheless, when one arises out of that dream, when one wakes up, if one thinks about the things that one did in the dream, if you think about the bad things that you did in the dream or good things that occurred in the dream, and you then rejoice in them, you actually can create karma in that way that will produce results, even though the dream objects and beings or whatever that you interacted with are completely unreal. Well, same way, all phenomena, they conventionally exist. They're established conventionally, they exist and we interact with them, but they don't actually possess the intrinsic nature that we falsely project onto them. So they're completely free. All phenomena are free from any kind of sign of intrinsic existence. Nevertheless, they operate, they function, and just like in the dream, those things can produce results if we rejoice in them. Similarly, the phenomena of everyday life, that if we rejoice in them, we're able to create merit in that way. So we think of the virtues of ourselves and others, all of the sentient beings, all Aryas, including and Buddhas, that all of those beings have created merit, and we rejoice in that, and we think with a sincere kind of thought, we see that, we rejoice in that. So we have to understand this similar, using the example of the dream. Again, in a dream, we can have beautiful things appear to us, other people or whatever, and we can develop extreme attachment to those things that appear in the dream. And the person in that condition, dream condition, is completely confused by the sleep that they're in. And that sleep is causing them to misapprehend these dream images, things in the dream as if they were real. And then, even though that's the case, when we arise out of that dream and wake up, a person can nevertheless have a strong attachment, desire for those illusory or those dream images that appeared, and based on with that attachment and their kind of desire for those completely imaginary things that they saw in the dream, they can create karma. They can produce, like by delighting in the dream that they were experiencing, they can actually create karma.
Oh yeah, 되게 제수이랑 체. 아니 제수이랑 되라. 아니 랑게 개와라 계속. 아니 가와고 제수이랑. 아니 현지 계산라 가와고 제수이랑. 아니 랑게 계산라 가와고 메세가나 랑. 아니 다리 단조지 때한 토 단조기 때한 토바 태양 아니 중아마 아니 사랑아마다란다 아니 유지바기 아니 가사 태기 아니 땡상 주지지 아니 수준남바다베 시선 원함 좀 참자 주소지 주발을 때네 땡디 토바를 마도 주메게면은 마종아 인상 아니 대다 대당 최대라 표준서와 lon지 표준서와 대양 개왕아마 지바제 진비제고 너나 최대 핀조 칸데 개와 개위로 칸데지 개와 인상 세랑아마기 아니랑 디 중앙망어도 상황을 때네 중앙 인상 아니랑 세랑아마기 개사티살아 가와 고메 ngami gezala jesu baba ani 참 리베게 샤네 가와 고메 아니 세대 고som지 개와 강샤와 탐제라 아니 가와 고메.
So then when we're doing this kind of rejoicing, we can start off with our own merits, roots of virtue that we've created in the past. And the way we do this is by, first of all, examining our current lives. We look at the current life that we've attained. This present life that we've attained, again, is a moment of opportunity in the sense that we're endowed with, we're free from any kind of insurmountable obstacle to Dharma practice. We're endowed with all of the various positive qualities that enable us to practice Dharma. So this kind of thing doesn't arise spontaneously without some specific cause that would give rise to it. It can only arise due to special kinds of virtuous actions that we've performed in the past, as well as then sort of sealing those virtuous actions that we performed in the past with special sorts of prayers for those virtues to manifest in the form of this kind of life. So simply by having this kind of life, we can infer without any question that we created those kinds of special virtues in the past. And the existence of these current effects, the life that we're experiencing now, is clear evidence for the virtues that we created in the past, those special virtues to produce this kind of moment of opportunity to practice Dharma. This couldn't arise otherwise. And then likewise, all of the things, even ordinary things that we enjoy within our lives, the kinds of food and drink, clothing, whatever, all of the different things that we use within our lives for pleasure and comfort, all of those also can only arise from specific causes, and they must have, the causes that produce them were the specific good virtuous actions that we committed in our previous lives. That is, the person that created them in the previous life is not exactly the same identical person as we are right now. However, we now and that person in the past are of the same continuum. So therefore, that causality is established through the causal linkage between what we're experiencing in the present and what we did in the past.
아니 초지 자원군다 상제당 랑자남다 로당 밀로당 조화군지 소남 칸라야 대다 군지 시수 다이랑 제가라 초지 아니 상제 탐제당 아니 창주선바당 랑자당 년대당 알 어서스기वे라 소와 아니 간사 대다기 아니 개와 대다라 아니 오때냐 보고 나신 가와 고문하기 아니 제수이랑 자 지혜그 개와 초지 자원군다 상제당 초지 자원군다 상제당 창주선바당 랑자당 로아당 밀로비 간사당 아니 소식이 요개와 뜻을 제수이랑 제 내가도 저적되는 요와 상적이 뭐는 아니 야나 되나라
So this is the same when we're then as far as the virtues of others. Here, then we do it in the way it's explained in the 7-part worship, the verse in that where it's the prayer of Samantabhadra, and in that it says that, "And I rejoice in all the merit that exists in the universe, that of all of the victors, the sons and daughters of the Buddhas, that refers to the Bodhisattvas, all the Pratyeka Buddhas, all of the Shravakas who are training in the path, and those who have finished their training. Actually, where it says training in the path and have finished the training, you can apply that to the Pratyeka Buddhas, and as well as the Bodhisattvas, the daughters and sons of the Buddhas. As well as then worldly persons, just ordinary people that have created virtue and are experiencing happiness as a result of it, or will experience happiness in the future. Using that formula, then one subsumes or collects together all of the virtue that has been created by all beings throughout oneself. You would include oneself within that. Whatever level one is on, and then so that it subsumes then all of the roots of virtue that have been produced by all of the beings in the universe.
아니 랑게 제수이랑 와체와이나 아니 바로 뭐 제수이랑 제사기 가사대 랑당 아니 또바냐바지이나 소나냐바 토바 랑라 또바마와지이나야 소나냐바 토바 다랑라 또바 토와도이나 아니 소나냐바 토고마이 바리 어디인상 제수와 일에 제반다 랑다신이 아니 가와체와 냐바니 토보 소나신체니 뭐다 로줄에 요나신체니 아니 자오사자지 점된데 년디지 코군디 코단제와 아니 와서 가서라 소된라 대탄 나메 대탄바디 아니 오 대화기 야오디다고 배선남 첨부 쇼지레 점된데 년디지 구도 코단제와 아니 소는을 대주를 가고 전배 소는 첨부 쇼지레 제니가나 제소이랑 제발라 때네 아니 점년 대지 소년 포기 개왕 어디 나네 오 대화기 개와 제수이랑 차와도 오마 오 예선은 야오라 아니 금부티 군왕 제한계와 인장 금바단들이 제와데 야오 개와 차와데 아니 오마 잡이다 어디나 로주요 나시 야
Then when one does this kind of, one thinks about the virtue that has been created by others, it's not appropriate to think that other people's virtue is inferior to yours, and that yours is superior to people that are equal to you, and then not to speak of considering your virtue to be comparable to that of the beings that are superior to you. We shouldn't do that. We should think that even those who apparently look like they have less virtue than us actually are of superior virtue to us. And likewise, with respect to those who appear to be more or less on our same level in having virtue, we should consider them likewise to be superior, and then not to speak, of course, of those who actually are obviously superior in virtue to ourselves. The story that illustrates this is during the time when Lord Buddha was on earth in India. There was a king, and this king he invited all of the sangha, the monks and nuns, and together with Lord Buddha to have a meal. And he provided them with extremely elaborate, the most delicious and excellent kind of meal that could be produced at that time. In all respects, it was the most wonderful kind of meal that could be provided. And then at that time, there was a completely impoverished man who had nothing at all. And he looked at the king who was performing this, doing this act of giving the meal to the Sangha, and the Buddha and the Sangha. And he thought, oh, that king has an incredible amount of merit. And so what happened then, because the king was extremely arrogant, he was so proud of what he was doing, his virtue was very, very little. He created some virtue, but it was quite small. And the poor man, on the other hand, created an incredible, vast amount of virtue as a result of that, just simply admiring and rejoicing in the merit that the king was producing.
Oh yeah, that 되게 제수이랑 대체 다 그와 사바다 배와 니가체 다 뒤제라 천국구이 하나 되라 아니다 가르세 천하라시 사마탄자 밀음시시 개바탄제지 내가 지향 제외 난가다 다시 삼바탑이 이랑 모스 푸준 천지 춘선 범죄 때 타연로디 팬디 근디 차 아니 계단윤도 내단 폐위시 안 살제 취지 차와 아도 세워서 가나 아니 천국구가 구가 되긴 말이 천국구가 마구나 아니야 좀 된대지 정말 저와 상제네 아니 샤둥가 봐도 처음 하송 아니 주와나 시체네 그러와 천국구가 구고고 말이 인상 천국구에 다 적재되라 푸준 천지에서요 푸도 주민 아니 도시 감다 삼바다 와 치다 와신도 아니 쳔비 아니 쳔바탕 아니 도자 대다라 아니 동아 주당제 제와라 아니 장저기 아니 제와 오 텐다이 아니 푸도 주민 천재대 등 다마 뼈거네 부준 천재 천재 천진 치바래 부준 천재 천진 범대대 아니 타야도대 팬디 군디 사세 아니 저와 남라 아니 내가서 편바다 푸순 대와라 소아기 아니 다 사제지치 아니 가서래 부준천지 춘진 보대대 타야도대 팬디 군디 사 어텐라이 푸스 편바라 소아기 아니 사람지 떠봐 제와당 아니 또바 제비치도 아니 윤도 나와 제와 제당 윤도 나와당 폐위치도 아니 가서래 사제 취지성고 아니 취지고로 코로나 시간라 아니 맨날 전부 구하지 부대 텐다와데 세지고로 뜻도는 담바임바 매데 좀 된데 아니 사제 도와라 사야 안보 자제라 써와기 아니 세지고로 뜻도는 담보데 청고고와 구와당 다 충바 아니 중국어 아니 소화되바데 아니 중국어야라.
Then next verse 40 explains the portion, the part of this 7-part worship of which is requesting the turning of the wheel of dharma. And this verse in the Lama Chipa says that the unexcelled knowledge and love 부중킨세 So this most excellent love and compassion appearing in the form of clouds, hundreds of thousands of clouds, which pervade the entirety of space, so as to generate and to cause to endure for a long time and to expand a garden of jasmine that will provide all of the benefit and happiness for the entirety of this limitless world. For that, then I request you to cause a rain of the profound and vast Dharma to fall here. That's how that verse goes. So here, the unexcelled supreme form of love and compassion. This is referring again to the perfect knowledge of the Buddha, the perfect love of a Buddha that doesn't have any kind of partiality. Is the perfect knowledge knows everything exactly as it is. The perfect love has no partiality, discrimination among the beings that it is directed towards. And so that is then appearing in the form of clouds, like hundreds of thousands of clouds pervading the sky. And this is then one is praying, requesting that most excellent form of knowledge and love to pour a great rain of Dharma down so as to generate a beautiful garden of jasmine that functions so as to produce benefit and happiness for the entirety of the world. Here, benefit and happiness, we have to understand that in terms of both temporary kinds of happiness, the thing, just whatever beings need for happiness, and to benefit them, as well as the ultimate sorts of benefit and happiness, the development of the stages of the path, such that they can achieve perfect liberation and eventually the perfect awakening of Buddhahood. So it has that aspect there. And then you're requesting that the rain produce this, that cause it to endure forever or for a long time, and that it increase as well. And I request this rain of Dharma, the profound and extensive Dharma, the Dharma of wisdom and method, to descend. And here, this is what you're doing is requesting the Guru to turn the wheel of the Dharma. And here, the wheel of Dharma, what this is in reference to is when the Indian god, the god Brahma, requested Lord Buddha to turn the wheel of the Dharma. He presented the Buddha with the 1,000-spoked golden wheel as the gift for requesting this turning of the wheel of Dharma. So that's in reference to that.
Oh yeah, that thing, any Chongoku was so at Dani, any teacher, any Shachi shares on Yambaki, any Mewa chair attended in a year somewhere.
So we should then think that's the request to turn the wheel of the Dharma. And then when we're doing this, we think, visualize and imagine that the Guru has accepted this request and is pleased by it.
Oh yeah, that teacher, and it Karogo, Chusumbacha, that didn't teacher and Yangala Minda was so at Tawate. Dojugula Jiji Mingaya, Sunjuwanga Jao Samado. 다자 메와 치신 시대발 양아 메다 다바슈 소세가라 아니 도지고 스나 아니 농사담나 주바게 다마다 그 주묘고라 송고인 바리 어 다마다 그 주묘고 톱 친제라 알려니 지방그 지지 메바 인자 도지고라 지지마 농산도네 주비 신도 제외 농사담나 주비 고인자 아니 어 도지고서 데려 주고 하래 도지고라 지지 명아양 수주방기 자모 사마도 세가나 아니 텐다위 타마다 바기 수주기 아니 루세다마 추비 꾸데 강도 쇼바기 아니 라비 아니 타마와 라비 가서 라비 리데 수주방기 자오 사마도 다자 명와 시시 시디바스 강도 쇼비 라베 아니 구수데 아니 와지 아니 가서 다자 메와 도지 캄다 메와다 삼바다 튠바 아니 다 양알에 맨다바 시디버데 담바슈 소치
So then the next verse is requesting the Guru to not enter into nirvana, but to reside permanently. And that verse says that here the term is actually a wicker basket, the wicker basket of the king of the Samatuk. So it's these in ancient India they used these wicker baskets to sort of like a treasure little. So the wicker basket, these were used like sort of like keep how do you say it, a little chest, like a small chest for jewelry, They made out of bamboo, and they produce these little, sort of like a chest, a little small box that you would use to keep your jewelry in on your dresser or what, like that. So these little here, that is used as a metaphor for the coarse form of the body of the guru, which is contains within it the most supreme kind of treasure, which is the integration. Here, integration is used as a term to indicate the Nirmanakaya, particularly the emanation forms. There are different levels of the emanation body. That is, there are sort of lower levels of it, and then there are more advanced levels of it. Here, this refers to either, we could refer this to either the impure illusory body or the pure illusory body, which is actualized in the completion stage practices. And so that, which the impure and pure illusory body is made solely out of the body itself is made out of the extremely subtle wind, which is the basis for the extremely subtle mind. And so that illusory body appears in that form. But in the case of gurus appearing in sort of their ordinary people, that illusory body is existing within a body which appears to be sort of like just coarse, ordinary kind of human body, or whatever kind of body it is appearing as. So that's here in this verse, the metaphor is that like a little wicker basket, which is subject to disintegration, of course. That which is the wicker basket of the Sungju Wangi Gelbo, the Genti Wangi Gelbo sana, Wangi Gelbo, Sungju Wangi Gelbo. Sungju Wangi Gelbo.
Sungju Wangi Gelbo. Sungju Wangi Gelbo said, any Sungju Wangi Gelbo, Sungju said, that is in Wangi Gelbo, the patient giant.
So that we can take this. Sometimes some texts would say that the Lord King of the, literally translating that as like Lord King of the integration could be referred to like a wish-granting jewel. And that's within this small jewel chest, one could say wicker basket. So in accordance with our desire, or our in accordance with our admiration, it says in the text, and specifically my admiration, my devotion actually is better here. In accordance with my devotion, please remain, abide without passing into nirvana until the end of for as long as existence occurs, throughout the duration of existence. So this is here. What it's saying is that the illusory body, the Nirmanakaya, appear in this sort of encased within the coarse form of the ordinary body of the guru, and so here one's requesting that remain in that form forever without passing away into nirvana. And it says that we do this in accordance with our own, in accordance with our and my and our other beings' aspirations, character and disposition. So that you make that request in that way.
Oh yeah, 아니 다 되게 양아를 민다고 써왔다. 대가나 되라. 아니 다시 나시 전에 양 맨날 숨부터 뭐지 푸니. 아니 대라 양 아니 샤시 시소냐 밖에 아니 내가 치고 송거래.
So we can also, and then in this context here, we can also do this together with the mandala offering of the 37 sort of little heaps of grain and other precious substances that one uses on a plate of the mandala. do that offering with that sort of special devotion, attitude of devotion.
Oh yeah, that didn't. Di jela da ngowa yimbari. Ngowa dela teda jumbe nanga gewi cho. Kajin sumde jujun lama yi tsara kundu zhame je sungji doji chawa topchung ngo seyi gala. Wanda digi ngowa che. Kang ogore sana kondu ane cha tsawa la sowa ki ane yanla da chuki kone sapan. Yanla chuki kone so sapa ki ane gesate. Right? Gesate teda jumbi 여기 차사와라 소와기 아니 야나 과만 남지 주미 아니 랑기 아니 사비게 와디 랑기 사비게 와디 쳔비 아니 뒤숨지 게와 초지 자와 세다 제외 게자다 냠도 세데 당고고요 인사 대응을 잘했체 대다 준비 난가 개위 초다 강동원나 아니 가설에 강게 중오거나 해서나 대다 준비 난가 끝까지 있으면 주선나마 예다 라라 같은 왕고 주세 명안나와 끝까지 있으면 야나 소다지도 뭐 자주세배도 망가지도 무슨 자외기 끝까지 있으면 오다 텐들기 아니 체력도 아니 가설에 끝까지 있으면 주선나마 아니 예수 좀 밖에 아니 줄주왕와 야 대다 준비 난가 교회에서 같은 숨된 지지 남아이 체력 군도 안에 자와매 봐 예수 좀 밖에 아니 줄랑와 어라 당고주 가르래에서나 아니 오유 코스을 아시지 맞주봐 강어와 개자당 강동어와 응어사당 응어보랑당 제와 아니 코스 아시지 맞주봐 미고네 아니 미봐 강어와치 고고하래.
So then the next verse is a verse of dedication, and there it says the entire collection of the pure virtues that I've produced in that way. That first line then indicates then, again, referring back to all of the virtues that both yourself and all other sentient beings in the universe, and also all of the beings who have entered into the path and achieved completion of the path up to and including all Buddhas of the past, present, and future. You think that all of that merit is collected into a single mass. And so that's the merit, the thing in which you're dedicating, the object of the dedication. And then then in terms of what you're requesting by the dedication that you're doing is that you request that the Reverend Lama, a guru who possesses the three kindnesses, will, without any kind of separation, will take care of you, will nurture you and protect you, take care of you throughout all of your lives, all of the rest of your future lives. And so in order for that purpose, you do the dedication. With respect to the Jetsun Lama, the Reverend Lama, a guru who has the three kindnesses, one can explain this in terms of the mantra system, but here we can do it also with respect to the mantra. There it's the conferring initiation, explaining the tantras and giving you the oral instructions of how to practice. And then with the sutra system, it's primarily concerned with the three vows that the Reverend Guru bestows upon you, the vows that pertain to individual liberation, the bodhisattva vows, sorry. La Dompa Longchi, Wang Gishe Menga, Dompa Sum di Sotar Dompa.
Sotar Dompa, Chanson Dompa, Sangaji Dompa. Yana Wangu, Gishe Menga.
No.
No.
So the kind guru, the Reverend Guru, who bestows, has three kindnesses upon you. Within the Tantra, one can mantra system. one can understand this as giving one initiation, explaining the tantras, bestowing the oral instructions on how to practice. Also, one can do this, consider these, the kindness in terms of the three kinds of vows that are bestowed. That is the conferral of the vows of individual liberation, vows of the bodhisattva vows, as well as the tantric vows, the vows of mantra.
Oh, yeah. Looking.
So here you visualize all of that merit, and you think of yourself as the agent doing this dedication and the process of dedication itself. And then you think of the purpose for which you're doing this dedication. And in the context of doing that, then you recognize that these are these three things, yourself, the object, the action, are all empty of intrinsic existence. They don't possess any intrinsic existence whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. That Terakundo Dame Jesu Jinsi, and it Terakundo Lamatic Jesus in Banguachi. And it Tara Lanam Bayanda was always Sanji Comato, but Owaganane, that's Sumiori. Marazu Namji Taba, the Chanzawa, the Chujin Chaba, the Jesu, Kushin Sawa, Gawa Junza Dakachisawa, Tamja, Zoe, Chanju Chamba, Segala, Gawa Tamja, and Raja Sabjata online Bayanda was always Sanjay Comato, Jungo Chick. That and Terakundo Dame Jesu, Jin Chin, and the Tembalana may be Tamba, the Java, the Lame Chin, Gava the Androva Maniba, Senior Tempe, Jesu, Zimbiduro, oh, Sana, and Lame Jesu, Zimbiduro.
When we do this dedication, there are different aspects of it. The last line of this verse says that I dedicate this so that I may obtain the powerful status of Vajradhara, which is the state of integration. So that's talking about the achievement of unexcelled true perfect awakening, Buddhahood. So dedicating it for that, or dedicating it, the first part of this is the dedication is dedicating it so that one will be nurtured and governed throughout all of the course of all of one's lives without any separation from the Reverend Lama, Guru, the revered Guru who who bestows the three kindnesses upon one. Now, when we do this, the way we think about it is, on the one hand, we think all of these merits throughout of all beings, including oneself, throughout the universe, and those that you've generated in the course of this practice of the seven-part worship, starting with paying homage, making offerings, doing confession, and so forth. You're doing that so as to, you dedicate it so that yourself can achieve unexcelled true perfect awakening for the sake of all sentient beings, and likewise so that all sentient beings can achieve unexcelled true perfect awakening. That's one thing. And then on the other hand, one thinks that one's doing it so that you yourself will not be separate from your guru throughout the course of the entire rest of your existence, the rest of this life, the rest of all of your future lives. But you also think that you're dedicating this so that all other sentient beings as well will be governed by a virtuous friend. They'll come into contact with virtuous friends, and they'll be trained by them and governed by them, so that all of the sentient beings can achieve unexcelled true perfect awakening. Because this is as it's said many places, that the sole door to the path of awakening is the virtuous friend.
Oh, that's yeah. 아니 탐지 준비 뭐는 나한 뒤에 순지 뒤숨 그래서 지저와 군자 투단계위 치동오 세가 초지자와 사다 제와기 아니 뭐람 탐제 아니 탐지 준비 말한 거 나도 뒤와래 관계 롱다 뭐는 인장 아니 그와 강한제와 탐제 아니 롱도지 아니 롱도 그 담바 짐바가 주는 와야 돼. 일단은 뭐는 좋죠. 숨부터서 말해. 좋죠.
So there's lots of different ways to doing this dedication, the prayer that's going along with it. As we mentioned, the first one is
도지 뒤라마래. 도지 뒤라마.
도지 둘레마.
제라망을 도지 떠봐줘야지 그러와. 니나를 찍대.
So there's the three ways of doing it. The first one, as we mentioned, dedicating it so that yourself and all other sentient beings will not become separated from the Guru that bestows the three kinds of kindness upon us throughout the rest of this life, the rest of all future lives. That's the one. And then dedicating it so that oneself and all others achieve unexcelled true perfect awakening. That's the second one. Then the third one is dedicating this entire mass of merit that you yourself have collected in the course of this practice, as well as all other sentient beings and all awakened beings, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arhats, and so forth. And all of the merit produced by all of these beings, you dedicate it for the sake of the teaching. That's the third way of doing dedication here. That prayer, you're praying in this context that the teaching will continue to exist, will appear where it hasn't appeared, it will exist where it has appeared without any decline, and will spread. So the teaching there, this way of doing that dedication is found in one of the praises of Je Tsongkhapa, where he said that since it's the teaching is the sole medicine for all sentient beings, like Shantideva has said likewise in the introduction to the Bodhisattva's way of life, it's the one medicine that cures all of the hardship, suffering of all sentient beings. Therefore, doing that dedication in that way is special. And so these three kinds of dedication then are generally said to be the principal kinds of prayers that one makes in the course of dedication.
Oh yeah, 근데 인자다 다주시와 나세체네 아니 어초지 자와 사다 집에 계사다 세니 아니 랑 계자데 아니 뭐와 치고야 돼. 지다 자주 채나 추디는 자주 마좀 받을 템메세 대신 자주 중에 개와야 자주 중에 받을 템메세 세가나 어자 세니야 어디 잡아 아니 자주 첨벌 추디는 자주 마좀 받을 템메세 세와나 베테 거니 아니 랑기 아니 용아 예수님도 사회 개와 제자당 초지 자와 사다 자와 개자 탐제 투몬도 어디 잡아 아니 그지 저울라 치점 제장 아니 세바메바 그냥 그지저울에 치름 자자 세바메바 진이 지른 거와 개자 간동 거 차선 받달라 아니 콘디 좀 해야 말아 콘디 미션 밖에 아니 봐야지
콘디 미션 봐
콘디 미션 봐
콘디 미션 봐 So then the illustration for this, one example that's given to illustrate how one practices dedication is that it's said that the example for this is like putting a drop of water in the ocean. When you put a drop of water in the ocean, because it becomes effectively coextensive with the entire ocean, then as long as the ocean exists, as long as it is not dried up, then that merit or that drop of water continues to exist. So here then that example is used to dedicating one's merit together with that of all of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions throughout the entire universe. By dedicating your merit, whatever you've created, however small it may be, if you do that in conjunction with all of the merit that's created throughout by all of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout the entire universe, then it's like combining the whatever small amount you produced with that vast ocean, and so that it will, the merit that you've created won't be extinguished for as long as that ocean of merit continues to exist. And then likewise, the benefit that's attributed to this kind of dedication is that if you do it in that way, then the merit that you've produced won't be destroyed by anger.
Oh yeah, that thing watch it. Right, that thing, that the yala dumbo take any shabaki, any casore, to sung in your botre, Gune, any shabache, any chobagi, any senag in your botre, Chanza was a churching, chobak senag in your botre, Chanza was a churching. 차차고 말이 차차와 나자기 년보치 안 보더라 차차와 된 나자기 년보치 추박이 세네 년보치 아니 샤박이 아니 두송기 년보치 찬자와의 최신 샤바다 예수이랑 그 아니 가서래 가리로 예수이랑 그 예수이랑 제인도 큰바 맞아 그냥 뭐 이봐요. 차차와디 아니 그 마치가나 지지 뭐보다 좋아해. 당연히 잡아지 대마스데 맞아 그냥 뭐체 찬자와다 최지 샤바기 아니 도송 그냥 뭐체하세. 예수이랑 그 콘디냐 뭐체 봐. 말 콘디냐 뭐대 뭐와체. 도체 가나 다나 마주 당할 태양이다. 찬자와다 최지 샤바당 차차와데 마자기 년보체 와 아니 추박에 세네 년보체 추박보라 세노 아니 샤바기 아니 두승기 년보체 찬자와다 최지 샤바당 제수이랑 되게 차도기 년보 따다래 제수이한테 차도기 년보체 그래서 현지 계좌라 그와서 차도 그냥 뭐지 어제 제수이랑 아니 중국과와지 처본 그냥 뭐지 아니 가서래 양아래 메다 와서 와대 라마라 녀면라 소와 그냥 뭐지 아니 뭐와디 콘티냐 뭐지 두세다 차도도 맞아 맞지 다지 야
So then, each of these parts of this seven-part worship is correlated, function as an antidote to one or more of the mental afflictions. So when one pays homage in the first part of this, then that functions as an antidote for pride. That's the first one. Then when you pay homage, prostrations and praises and so forth, those forms of homage are designed as antidotes for one's pride. Then when one makes offerings in the various ways, it gives offerings, then that functions as an antidote to stinginess. The offerings, giving away things is the antidote to that mental affliction of stinginess. Then confession is said to be a antidote to all three of the mental afflictions: desire, hatred, and ignorance. It functions as an antidote for those all three. So yeah, the confession is the antidote to all three poisons: desire, hatred, and ignorance. And then rejoicing in the virtues of others is the antidote to envy.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. What did I just say?
Antidote to envy.
Which one?
Rejoicing.
Rejoicing. Okay. The rejoicing is the antidote to envy. And then requesting the Guru to turn the wheel of the Dharma is the antidote to the negative action of abandoning Dharma or casting away Dharma, as well as things such as, and including especially the disparaging and despising one's own Guru, that form.
That's the next one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Requesting
that to pass into
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. So then requesting the Guru not to pass into nirvana is the antidote to the form of mental affliction which induces you to despise and disparage your Guru. Then the dedication practice is designed to so that's it's the antidote to anger. Anger. So that dedication then is the antidote to anger.
Oh yeah, that do can do. Ani laje karishago ware sena. Ani da chancha wagi. Ani judo jube. Sanje judo jube ke laje shaya. Shobagi ani kasore devo loje nangadanya ba chunya ke. Ani laje shaya. chan자와다 최신 샤바기 아니 밤바타도 두베게 라체샤야 야
밤바타도
산제기 이엠바데 시드바 밤바타도 줘야 라체샤야.
So then the first three of these have effects that are that occur from that arise from them, consequent to them, and the first of these is that by doing prostration one will develop at Buddhahood the ushnisha, that the protrusion on the crown of the head, ushnisha, and then the offerings, practice of offering, that will function so as to provide one with limitless things that one requires, all of the different kinds of necessities and things that one enjoys at that stage, eventually at the point of Buddhahood. And then the then the confession ultimately produces the final abandonment or elimination of the obscurations that are mental afflictions and the obscurations that are prevent omniscience from occurring.
Oh yeah, that 장자와다 최신 샤바탕 예수이랑게 통나 믿음바 maybe 꾸주바기 라체샤야. right? 통나 믿음바 maybe 꾸주베야게.
통나 믿음바
통나 믿음바 메바.
통나 믿음바. 통나 믿음바.
통나 믿음바 자두자바 아니 믿음바 메바. 랑게 가서래 가신 쪼신 쪼와요 약된 와 돈나 믿음바 믿고스로 아니.
So then the part of the practice of rejoicing in the merits of others will, as its effect, outcome, a form, a body that will be such that it will be delightful to anyone who sees it, that will be extremely attractive.
산자와다 최지 샤바다 예수이랑 다 천국고 아니 가서래 수사왔다 와기 안에 산제그 송참비한 주베그 라체샤야.
Then requesting the Guru or Buddha to turn the wheel of the Dharma produces the effect, the final outcome of the Buddha's voice, which is called the voice of Brahma, special kind of that has multiple attributes. That kind of special voice.
Oh yeah, didn't 제 중국과 양알에 민다와 소한다바기 아니 도주구주바기 니와샤야.
Then requesting the Guru Buddha to not pass into nirvana gives one the places within oneself the imprint that will eventually manifest as the effect of oneself actualizing the adamantine body.
Oh, yeah, then what and the Sanjay
Then dedication produces the general aspect or general collection of all of the various virtues. The good qualities of a Buddha.
Oh, that then down larger Kang Shabati, how any summer Tanju Gala, and the Yana Dumbo Sobala Gadro Jeta, Sabala then, and go attended to Yoba in down, and the go
So that's when we're doing the 7-part worship, we should then think in the course of it, while we're doing it to the extent possible, we think of while we're doing each of the different parts of it, that it has these sorts of attributes, that it functions so as to produce the kinds of effects that each individual part does, and that it functions as the antidote for each of the individual kinds of mental afflictions, and then overall in general the sort of outcome that arises from doing this kind of practice of the 7-part worship.
Oh, yeah, that didn't Tijela, and it has you mandra puede, and a chebak mandra chet, the negas mandra puna, and a Sunday mandra, and puichashi, that was him.
Then previously we've done already a mandala offering, which was a mandala of giving, offering mandala. Now then, in this context, one now does a mandala of request.
Oh, didn't take Jela, down Lamachabaki, Chogangushila, you are married, and it the castle, Georgiana, take you already. That Lamachaba gave it to you already. That didn't take a box to go and saw it up. Mandra Puni, and a Lamada Kunjur was never on a channel, the Daka Chinjela so. That a massam jet tweeting constant, she Maguane Sunday. And the Danish is some that dinner, not just also in a tree by the Chinji local, not that I knew the Gaba Chinji love to saw. Senior Kuan and Milovis Sugar by the Chinji model, but none of that Dalado Java, Chinji love to saw. Jane Chinang Gaji, and ordinary, and a Gaji Pajet of Janawa Shiva, Chinji love to saw, say Gala, and the tension was some Jikawa, Tang around the Tadadella, Testament do go highway.
So then here, it's not actually included within this particular version of the Guru Puja as such. However, we find this in the other, the Jorcha, the preparatory practices version of these kinds of practices. And then it also appears in many other Guru worship texts, where we do the special request for blessings, empowering blessings from the Guru, and this has multiple parts to it. The first of these is that you think that I and all of the sentient beings from time without beginning up until now, all of the various kinds of negative actions that we've created, the obscurations that have been produced by performing those negative actions, and these commence from disrespect to the virtuous friend up to and including the apprehension of things as being real, the signs of things as if they were real. Here, within the context of this practice, we can say that included within the misapprehension of the signs of things as if they were existed by means of their own intrinsic nature. That would even be up to including the 3 phases of the visions that occur up to the point of death, where that first appearance of the white light, and then the red, and then the dark vision that one has. Those 3 things, holding them as being real, is included within this. And so you ask the Guru to empower you to be able to purify all of those, and then The second, you request the contraries of those. That is, you think of that yourself and all other sentient beings, that you're able to properly serve and rely upon the virtuous friend. And then everything starting from that and all the rest of the path, it goes up to and including the completion of the path, which is the obtainment of the state of integration. That's the culmination of the path. You request empowering blessings to be able to actualize all of those. 죄송해요. 죄송해요.
그래서
신인을
신년은 마구반에 손대에서 다 나당 대화이나 신년은 마구반에 손대 나제 토숨지 이나 참이 파지 친지로그 나타다 유도가 바 친지로 전에 된지 당하담 마대화이나 신년은 마구반에 당이수 참아진배 파지 친지마도 나타다 유도가 바 친지로 제 된지 대체 Yeah.
So you think if you're not doing this in connection with the practice of mantra, then you think you're asking for blessings to be able to very easily stop all of these negative attitudes or cognitions even, that is from starting with disrespect for the virtuous friend up to and including the misapprehension of the signs of things as if they indicated that the things that they're signs of were actually real, existing by means of their own intrinsic nature. Or if one's doing this in connection with the practice of mantra, then one does it in the same way at the beginning, but up to and including then the last part of that is the erroneous cognitions that are misperceiving the three kinds of visions as if they're established by means of their own intrinsic nature.
밀로비 수족 파지 저전하나 신년라 거와서 신제 말로 별나타다달라 디께와서 신제 소스를 요아래데 안디나 쭉 초고와래 그와서 소군이 인자 신년라 거와네 밀로비 수족 파지 신제 말로 별나타다달라 디께와 신제랍서 아
진지 말로 별나타
신제 말로 별나타다달라 디께와 신제랍서.
So then in the Jorcha, the preparatory practices formulation of these kinds of practices, then you do it such that you pray in the positive fashion that you will be very easily be able to produce all of the correct kinds of minds, attitudes, cognitions, starting off with respect for one's virtuous friend, and up to and including the development of the So up to and including then this state of integration that's actualized when one has completed the path, when one is no longer training, developing the path.
아니 다 친한 게 가진 바체 탐제. 친한 게 가진 바체 탐제. 가서 올해 겨우 최신도 맞아 최신도 미쳐바당 아니 요 뭐겠다면 다든지 최주비 튕겨당 난게심 류라 나자당 아니 상이 바체 리스레스 마루와라 소하게 아니 친한 게 가진 바체 탐제냐고 시와 친지랍서.
Then you finally then you also ask that to be blessed, empowered, that so that you can so that all of the inner and outer conditions that function as obstacles can be totally pacified or eliminated. This would refer to such external conditions would include things like the ruler of a country not allowing the practice of the Dharma, or things like in a country there being famine, those sorts of conditions. And then the internal conditions would be things nangikin
아니 류라 나자 중앙.
So internal conditions would be things like one's body being subject to sickness, oneself and others as well, being subject to sickness that would then prevent them from being able to practice dharma.
Oh yeah. 상화를 레스미로. 알아? 상화기 겐 레스미로.
Then there's also like secret conditions, that is, which has to do with the parts of one's body not being serviceable for certain kinds of practices.
어떤데 제 가서래 아니 신이 된저 그거 좋아야 되래 요아래 단장나 제일단 신이 때문에 보여 맞다면 이미 아니 선배 된저도 좀 마사나 또야 되나 뒤가라 또 송고래 다티 뭐가지
So then at this point it's one can also do the prayer to the Mahamudra lineage. Then one can also do the recitation of the prayer to Je Tsongkhapa in the form of the three lords of the families, and then one can do that, and then one can also do a review of the entirety of the path, starting with the portion of the path which pertains to the way in which one serves and relies upon a virtuous friend, thinking about the benefit, how to do it, the benefits of doing it, and the negative consequences of not doing it, up to, and then following all of the other stages of the path that are subsequent to that. One can do those practices at this point in the overall preparatory practice here.
Oh yeah. That didn't matter. 가서 연대다 가정 제수 때문에 써왔다 봐. 대라 아니 가정 제수 때문에 써왔다 봐. 되니다 대라양 원라 마다 삼첩제 도스 경고하다 이제 연대다 가정 제수 때문에 써왔다 봐. 대라 아니 가서래 연대 중에 주림 자소체 만드는 비소지 온었다. 몸에도 봐 도만이 외지 내년도 봤잖아. 써왔다 외세야 되라. 아니 오다 도안에 셰비 연대당 라마 도안에 셰버기 아니 그 신이지 연대당 댐벽권에 아니 쳐봐 그것도 봐 아니 도대네 셰비 연대당 댐벽권에 또 봐. 안에 셰비 연대에 댐벽권에 또 봐더라. 만데 이내 중에 수림 자소체 만데 느비 소지 온었다. 몸이 좀 도안이 외지 내년 누가 지나서 왔대세 간다다. 도안에 셰비 연대당 담아 지어고 그래. 다들 좀 저거 자고 뭐가 좀 온다.
So then next it says there you can do all of those things. We're not going to discuss all of those in detail now. Then after that, in the Guru Puja text, there are ways of recalling the good qualities of the Guru and the various aspects of the good qualities of the Guru. The next verse that's here in the translation has to do with making requests, and while one is making these requests, one thinks about the good qualities of one's Guru. And so here, the first of these is the good qualities that that pertain to the Guru's possession of the ethical discipline. And the verse here says that
주림 대시 두비 초가시 네번인도 코니 타바다 쳐다 봐서 항상 판도라서 봐 뒤수도 맞다 라망아 스타 저자 뭐가 쳤디 와 뒤전다 세고를 찍대기 와 아니 가서 오래에서는 연대 중에 세가라 연대 탐제지 심화대 아니 주림 인상 연대 중에 주림 자소체 주림 그 자요 아니 만데 니비 소지 용서담 세가라 아니 마도 태와기 아니 니비 소지 용서담 만데 니비 소지 용서담 좀 만데 늦죠. 더 가서 해야 근데 주는 좀 만데 늦어. 가서 몸이 좀 봐. 몸이 좀 봐. 투안이 이제 내된 누가 진라 서완데 세가나 아니다. 몸이 좀 봐. 세가나 gelung 찾아다 대봐 몸이 좀 봐. 그 몸이 좀 봐. 아니 누가는 셰비 연된 대다다 대봐. 아니 내된 누가 진라 서왔다. 나도
So then the verse here then says, I make requests, I beseech, here thinking fervently beseech, the great ocean of the that is the great who is to the Guru who is the ocean of ethical discipline, which is the source of all good qualities. And who is and this ocean completely is filled to the brim with a mass of the jewels of a great learning. And the Lord, who is like a second Munindra, here Munindra again is the Lord of sages, the Buddha, and who holds the saffron robes. Here this is praising the Guru as a holder of the Vinaya, the code of ethical conduct, and that is symbolized of ethical discipline. So that's represented especially by the wearing of the robes. And so the Guru has that aspect of wearing those robes, and thus is a holder of the ethical discipline. So I beseech fervently. The Stavira is an elder monk or nun who holds the Vinaya, who is the code of the ethical discipline, and so that's the first verse.
they do an issue and then savage. Then Kandan the other Shebella, Demba Yubi, and then to the Malu Javi, Dunzo Church, Tijo Gavashela, so a day, say Gala, and it about 2 moments, one a Shabak, and then Kandan Dana, and it about 2 moments give a scene, Kanda Dana Tibachu give a scene, and then the career, Kandan Dana, the other Shebelam, Demba Yubi, the career, and Anita. 도대체나 숨박 신이 두어 시와 예시와 연전라바 전자 루그지 등이라도 돌아 막아대 제위단의 조합방을 댄서들 다를 주목하시러와 연전 도시전에 집이 연전 주어태단 댐비 아니 자유도도 티적 교회실에 싸워대 세가나 아니 티와 투모미 아니 슈네셰비 연전대단대 벽고나 치쳐봐 가서 소한테 받이에체.
Then the next one makes requests to one's guru as who's the Dharma, Lord of Dharma. Here the word Lord means like a guide, someone who is a guide in the Dharma. And so he or she is also the inheritor of the entirety of the teaching of the victors, the Buddhas, and possesses the 10 good qualities which makes him or her suitable as a teacher of the path of the Sugatas, those who have gone to bliss, the Buddhas. And so those 10 qualities are enumerated in the ornament for the Mahayana Sutras, such as the virtuous friend has to be well-tamed and has to understand the teachings, has to have compassion, has to be generous and so forth. All of these qualities, we're not going to go into the details of those at this point, but in brief, then one goes to refuge, makes requests to one's guru, as in that aspect of the virtuous friend who teaches the general path. Here, general path subsumes both the lesser vehicle path as well as the Mahayana greater vehicle path.
아니 도대나 셰비 엔데탐 삼보거나 이니다 대시 둘라 러제다 세된 다시 요즘에 나다 주지 좋아시 아니 이제 단라 아니 초가시에서 다지 디나소 하나시 전에 다들 디티티티 되고 와래 가서 다들 오데다 간단한 데다 봐요 말이지 뒤쪽 외시라서 고슴 내담 세 주름질 나와서 고슴을 넣어서 로진이 세가라 아니 싫어 쳐와 아니 세바단 대바 세가나 아니 미디쇼 아니 대답 세비 미디쇼 아니 세바단 대바 세비 고슬레다 로제 세단 창 아니 여다 유메 아니 태관 가테니 주순 테니 주세가나 되다 치다나게 테니 주송데 아니 테니 셰바 아니 중국 주와당 아니 차가라 캐바 기타 체크해 아니 도저히 준비 소라 대회 세가나 아니 나지 도저히 레면 그 연단다 대표권에 소화 대바데.
Then next comes the request to the Guru in the form of the holder of the Vajra. Here, holder of the Vajra is as a Vajra, a master of the mantra approach, Vajra master. And so here there are enumerated the good qualities of such a Vajra master. His or her three doors, body, speech, and mind, are properly restrained, controlled by the vows and precepts and such that one undertakes when one practices this path. They are highly intelligent. They possess forbearance. That is, whenever they're not disturbed by conditions that arise that are contrary to their objectives. They don't get upset at that. They're straightforward. They're free from any kind of hypocrisy or deceit. They don't have that. They also they understand the mantras and the tantras. They have knowledge of all of the different forms of tantra. And then they understand the 10 principles. This refers to their outer and inner principles that need to be understood by a Vajra master. And they also are skilled in drawing the mandala, and as well as explaining everything, drawing the mandala, and likewise being able to perform all of the various rituals that are found within the Vajrayana. And so I make fervent requests to the chief of those who hold the Vajra.
Oh yeah, that did jela. Ani yene jibu kona soa deba. That kadri Jesu tembu kona je. Ani soa deba tela. Ani jil sanjela labe kadri. Gwe ani yami ani tuyang bola labe kadri yohendang. Tambo tela sanja chame cheba maduye. Marun duke nidi drowala. 대신 항상 지시된 바이 아니 장고 투지된 소와 대세된 바리 다 봐도 가상 상제 마보 전화르데 전장 아니 라니 아니 상제 대다 그 무슨 아니 최대 가와 마주바 대다 그 예수마 가와 마주바 상제 참여 전 전반 마도신 마론 두기 아니 마론와 아니 누가위 아니 두자 남라 마룬드기 아니 사실 더러시바 나산 지신도 때바 잡아게 아니 자고 투시 때라 소와데 세가라 지르산자라 라베가 아니 하비거나 같은 지산자라 라베거나 아니 같이 체수거나 때바 대체.
So those verses above were ways of making requests and beseeching one's guru by means of recalling their qualities in the three different forms that were enumerated there. And then next comes making requests to them by means of recalling their special kindness to one. And this is explained in the next verse where it says that although countless Buddhas have come in the past, and that line there indicates that there are numberless Buddhas that have appeared throughout the universe, without any beginning in time. But because we at those times did not have the good fortune to encounter them or to encounter them properly, that is, we didn't have the special karma that would enable us to receive teachings from them and to progress on the path and actualize the realizations, achieve liberation, and so forth. Therefore, up to this point, we've remained in a kind of state of complete, we haven't developed ourselves as we could. So the verse there says that although those numberless Buddhas have occurred, that with respect to the living beings, of this time of degeneration, referring like to times such as the present time, where all of the various things are disintegrating, and beings of that time were very unruly and difficult to train. The beings of the period, this kind of time period, are have that character. They're disturbed by mental afflictions to a high degree, and thus that makes them unruly and very difficult to train. So then this compassionate refuge and protector who is teaching the good path of the Sugatas, the Buddhas, just as it is. You make request to that that guide, the guide who teaches you the path, just as it is.
Listen.
Oh.
Oh yeah. That suggestion about the chest that.
We'll stop there. There's a few more verses to do, so we'll stop there for now.
Come and use it. There's a master.